Assalamualaikum. So we resume back our lecture today with topic 6.5, reversible and irreversible process. So before we jump into 6.5, we need to go through this two statement. Okay, there are two important statements related with second law of thermodynamics. First one is Kelvin-Planck, which related with your heat engine. Okay, heat engine, and now we want to learn about Clausius statement. Okay, Clausius statement is related with a refrigerator. Okay. Right. So the statement said that it is impossible to construct a device that operates in a cycle and produce no effect other than the transfer of heat from a lower temperature body to a higher temperature body. So this statement can be easy like this. So it's impossible to construct a device that operates in cycle if you don't have any work input. Okay, if you don't have a work input here, it's impossible. It's possible to construct a device. Okay, so what it means is refrigerator cannot operate on its own. Okay, because we want temperature transfer heat from lower to higher, so it cannot operate on its own unless you drive it by external power source. Okay, that's why we need work input. Your W net in cannot be zero. Okay, if you have W net in equal to 0, that means you violate this Clausius statement of the second law. So I hope you are clear. So with this Clausius and Kelvin-Planck, so in Kelvin-Planck, you need to release some heat to your lower temperature reservoir. So you cannot use, okay, here they try to show the violation proof of the Kelvin-Planck statement will lead to the violation of the Clausius statement. Okay, in here, by right, you should release, in Kelvin-Planck, by right, you should release your heat engine, some of your heat to the lower temperature reservoir. But here they use 100% of the W net, your QH, as the input to your refrigerator. So this is wrong. Okay, and here they just use the QL from the low temperature and then QH here, QH to the high temperature. So this also violates the Clausius law, because you, by right, you will need the W net in, okay, as your input. So if you don't have this, so that means you violate the statement. So okay, here it said the Kelvin-Planck and Clausius statement are equivalent in their consequence. So either statement can be used as the expression of the second law of thermodynamics. So if your device violates Kelvin-Planck statement, it is also violates the Clausius statement, and vice versa. So you have to understand that for your heat engine, you need to send some of your excess heat to the lower temperature reservoir. Okay, and for your refrigerator, you need a work input. So there are the two main points. Okay, so now we proceed with the reversible and irreversible process. So reversible, as the name said, it is a process that can be reversed without leaving any trace to the surrounding. So both your system and surrounding will return to its initial states. So for this process, your Q in and your Q out is equal. So your delta Q is equal to 0. So same thing. So your W in is equal to your W out. This is already written to your initial state. So your delta net W is 0. Okay. While for irreversible process, it is a process that is not reversible. So here they give you some example for reversible. So here frictionless pendulum, okay? It's frictionless. So frictionless here means when you release this pendulum to this side and it will return back to its original position. It's frictionless, it's not normal, okay? Normal pendulum. Because in normal pendulum, you will not get back to your original position because there's a air friction or anything that okay, it will get shorter and shorter over time. But here it says frictionless pendulum, so your pendulum will bounce to the other side and then go back to your original position. And then the second example is quasi-equilibrium expansion and compression of gas. This means that the expansion and compression is slow process. Okay. If it's fast process, then it is reversible. So ideally, we interested in reversible process because it easy to analyze and they serve ideal model. Ideal theoretically means to which actual process can be compared. But in reality, all the processes occurring in nature are irreversible. Okay. Okay, factor that cause a process to be irreversible is called irreversibilities. So that include friction, okay, unrestrained expansion, mixing of two fluids, transfer across finite temperature difference, electric resistance, inelastic deformation of solid, and chemical reaction. Okay, so here in first example is friction. So friction will give you some friction, okay. Now you have a piston and here you have a friction. Friction will make the process become irreversible. Okay. Second example is heat transfer. So here, let's say you have a cold soda of 5 degrees Celsius and you want it to increase to 20 degrees Celsius. So this is if you put some heat, okay, you need to put some heat. Okay, so this is one example of irreversible heat transfer process. So like this, okay, the second one is example of impossible heat transfer process where here from 5 you want to go down to 2 degrees Celsius. You need to take out some heat. Okay, this actually can only be done if you have a refrigerator where you need heat input. Okay, refrigerator work input. That's the only way for you to reduce your temperature, okay, from high to low. Next is unrestrained expansion. Okay, these two fast compression and fast expansion is an example of irreversible process like in previous slide. Okay, if it's slow compression and slow expansion, they are reversible. So here we want to look at unrestrained expansion. Okay, this means that the process has fracture membrane. Okay? So when the membrane is ruptured, the gas field, okay, from this side will fill to the entire tank. The only way to restore the system back to its original state is to compress to its initial volume while transferring heat from the gas until it reaches its initial temperature. Okay? From the conservation of energy, it can easily be shown that the amount of heat transfer of gas equal to amount of work done by the gas, okay, on the gas by the surrounding. So the restoration of the surrounding involves conversion of heat completely to work, okay, which violate the second law. You cannot completely transfer your heat to work. Okay? It's not 100%. So it's violate the law. So that's why for unrestrained expansion of gas, it is a irreversible process. Okay, let's look at this one. Okay, so for friction, okay, so you want to push this up, and then you have a friction that oppose the direction of your motion. Okay, friction associated with bodies in motion that are in contact with each other. Okay, if it's the friction force act to oppose any motion. So if let's say your motion is to, you want to pull this block. Okay, if you want to pull this block, okay, it's my cursor. So if you want to pull this block, your motion is to this side, so your friction is to oppose to it. So this is your friction. Okay, so work is still required. Okay, you will require work because you're pulling it up. Okay, sorry. So this is your motion. Work is required to overcome the frictional force. So work input converted to thermal energy. T of the block and its surrounding will increase as you require work input. So if you push the block up to the plane, okay, the block and surrounding do not cool to their initial T. So that is why it is irreversible. So this is the explanation for topic 6.5. So in next video we will look at Carnot cycle. Yeah, okay, sorry. Okay, I missed one slide here. So they are, for reversible process, there are two types of reversible process. Three types actually: internally, externally, and totally reversible process. So for internal reversible process, so if there is no irreversibility, okay, we have discussed the what can cause irreversibility previously. It's friction and the unrestrained unrestrained expansion, heat transfer just now. So if there's no irreversibility occurs within the boundary of the system, so that is internal reversible process. So for external, if there's no irreversibility occur outside the system boundary. And last one is totally reversible if there is no irreversibility within the system or its surrounding and can be restored back to its original condition. So this one is within boundary of system. Okay, so when you dealing with boundary of system and outside of the system, that okay, within boundary of system is for internal, outside system boundary is for external, and totally reversible process is if it's within the system and surrounding, when you relate it with surrounding, okay, and can be restored back to their original condition. So that is totally reversible process. Okay, so this is the last slide for topic 6.5. So we will continue next video with Carnot cycle. Thank you.